And then you look at what I guess this is breaking news, the other line that comes with it, the fire shit that got crossed through a couple other mutual favorites, I'd say. The strawberry Kush is a very good one, and that's another one that it got in with, and as well as GMO. So to have a great grandparent or a grandparent crossed back into it is extremely exciting for me, and we're gonna still test those and get through and see which ones, if those are gonna make the cut. But fire shit from 808 Genetics was one that it was like the color in the book that I want to use the most. You know what I'm saying? Or the color in the pack that I really want to work with, I think, and start illustrating more of what our journey is. And it's definitely one for me that I think is hit right.
Well, that's something that we all agreed upon, right? We all consumed it, and it just punched all of us in the face. Hard. And we were all just immediately so excited once we consumed that, because we were like, wow, this is this is what we want to move forward with. And having it crossed with 3 different things, it's incredible.
Dude. And we had 14 different. The irony that it was the last one that we went through everything, but I think it's because he was like, hey, when we tried, when we tried the first, the potential parents, tasting. We were like thinking like, oh, okay, all right, this is our favorite one. This is like, I watched the video back and we kept saying these other ones were our favorite, and then all of a sudden we smelled the fire shit and we were just like,
it was one of the last ones that we did.
It was number
right?
14 on the list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, literally, because then it was literally after we smelled it, Swank's like, okay, I got bad news about that. I didn't keep the mother, which he turned out he did. He actually did keep it. He was wrong. He's like, oh shit, I killed the other one. I kept this one. But it was more the fact that he was like, this is a 12-weeker and a small yielder. It's like, oh no. But that's the mom. The dad in the frosted lemonade, the vigor is crazy. It's thick. It's girthy. The trichome production is really nice, and the frosted comes through, which makes sense with the name. And it's got some phenos that, like the one that you had was like a nasty pine, you were saying, and then some are like the lemon cream, so to speak. So
yeah, it was a pine. It had a little that like that citrus, but it wasn't dominating. I personally, the frosted lemonade, it was enjoyable. I liked it. And yeah, I had the opportunity to grow that, but I kind of just want to dial back a half second, because this would have been very easy to just push out a bag of seeds to the world and just call them whatever and just make a couple $1,000 and just move on. But it's like, we have all been in this game for over 10 years at this point each. And it's like, I'm really not interested in just cropping and just making a quick buck. It's like, I think I can speak for the 3 of us. It's like, if I'm going to push out a product, or if I'm going to release a product, I want it to be perfect. I want to know exactly what it is. I want to know exactly how it grows. I want to know exactly how it smokes. When I try to sell it to somebody and say, hey, this is the product I have, I want to know exactly what's going to happen when someone else takes it on, so that there's no misconception and there's no ill will or angst against us and me because we just pushed out some crappy weed. So yeah, it's taken us a long time, but it's almost like, perhaps left at our own devices, we would never release it. I'm sure you could understand that with Chill Out, where it was like, at what point does it become good enough for the world? Yeah. Because I feel like you could just go forever and never stop and release it. But at the same time, it's like, I want to be confident. That's all. Well, I'm not in this for the money.
I think it helped that one of the 3 of us is further along. Chris is a sophomore amongst us. We're still freshmen. Well, it's like you've got one under your belt.
I literally when I just said all this,
far down the line, but it gave us that blueprint to say, okay, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right. And our colleagues, our friends who are doing this as well, they know their shit. They know what they're giving you when they describe it. Like Chad described what we were going to smoke before we smoked it.
And I smoked exactly what he told me I was going to smoke.
Is. And that's
the same thing with the Chill Out OG.
Chris gives 3 explanations of it, and all 3 I had. Boom, boom, boom. Like, damn. And this was, what, an F2 at the time? Like, I had something early on, dude.
You give more variation, yeah.
Dude, and I was flabbergasted how stable it was already. And I was like, okay, well, you found something good to then refine and work your way through. But you were timid to even put out the F1s or anything because you wanted to be right. And that's where we're at right now. I remember but you already had gotten confidence with enough other people who've tried it and grown it. And
I remember that conversation, dude.
I waited until the F3s
Yeah.
in order to release to the public. So, yeah, for years I was just working on it under my belt, and I was like, I don't know, like, and then, yeah, you guys actually gave me the confidence to release.
Dude, us both growing it separately in different places and being like, wow, dude, this was yours, brother? Like, we wanted to be like, yeah, man, good to anybody. But I was thoroughly impressed with, again, the ease of growth, how I had powdery mildew on the first run with other genetics, and that one just was in the room and didn't deal with it. The ability to withstand the heat in the summertime that I dealt with, all these things that I was like, I can endorse this to my viewers. We weren't even as close of friends. I mean, we were, but like, I had to try it before I trusted it. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm like, okay. This is why you wait. This is why we wanted to wait more with the F1s. We need to make sure that us as growers, experienced growers, can experience it and understand that a novice grower and an experienced grower can handle it. If we were getting just fire shit alone or just GMO alone, it may be one that's a little more advanced, more intermediate, and that's one that it's tough to be our first release to come out because it's like, damn, hey, new grower who's listening, skip this one maybe. Get something that's a little easier. Get the Chill Out OG that'll be friendly to you when you fuck up versus this GMO cross that might bite you in the ass partway through, you know?
And I do, like, I stand by the decision to release the F1s, and I think F1s should be released. I think you did a great job too, like waiting until you were really confident with what you had to release it to the world to say, well, this is Chill Out OG. Here is where it came from. And I specifically remember saying that it's like, give that palette, give that spectrum of genetics to your audience, to your community, and see what they come up with. You found Chill Out OG. What did they come up with? Groten came out with Magic Candy Mountain OG.
Yep.
He came out with
Frost Giant.
the Purple Frost
Cherry
Giant.
Atomic Sledgehammer.
I'm just trying to think crossed with, crossed with...
The Magic Candy Bound OG is what you
that's one. And what's the latest one? No, is it just...
He's just working on
He's
like
working
the
on
second
something.
version.
He's working
of
on
it.
the second version. So anyways, and that's his kind of portrayal of what he sees as his version of Chill Out OG. And so when we release F1s, even though they're still F1s and their characteristics are so vast, we are learning through experience. I had the opportunity of flowering out 3, not a mass selection. You flowered out more, and then I'm already noticing that there's a spectrum of what to expect between the citrus and between the meat is really what I get off of these. And it's like, I'm gonna lean heavy into the meat, but somebody might want to be like, yo, the dudes from FTS created this meat, but dude, I would love to take their genetic and put some dessert in there so we get a full meal. And then I want to be like, what did you get, dude? I want to try this too.
Yeah.
That's why you release F1s. So
No, and also you find some of the best flavors. A lot of people do. They long for those. Some people call them breeder packs or hunter packs, so to speak. We'll call them searcher packs to be a little more unique. I think that you've
selector
got
packs.
Selectors. I think those who are the aficionados, the hobbyists, the people who want to hunt, they're going to want the F1s. And I think it's a disservice to not release those, but it's a disservice to not test them for a while to make sure that they grow properly.
Oh, yeah.
They don't run into herm issues. They're not susceptible to the stresses that average growers would run into. That is super important. Don't just go and throw the word out of pollen chuck and then seed chuck some genetics out to your community. Make sure it's something that you could stand by and that you yourself, the grower, is like, yeah, dude, this shit right here is killer in my own garden. I don't want to have something that we just put out as a product and as a name on it. That's why we still have to grow the Strawberry Kush cross and the GMO cross to be able to see if these are ones that make it out to the public. But I truly, personally, just like, with Stash Blend, I love having the audience a part of it. I love having our stashers, the community, kind of give their 2 cents, seeing what we're doing and seeing the transparency, because this is a journey. And it's only fair to have the people who've been a part of our journey be a part of this next journey. This FTS clip was brought to you by AC Infinity, leaders in garden innovation. Use discount code TheStash15 at checkout to save some money on your order.
From the Stash Podcast.